Shirley, in 1927, when you were born, Chicago Midway International Airport opened for the first time. Chicago's population was around 3,376,438. Al Capone's Chicago outfit was earning a yearly income of around $108 million, and it was the last year of production for the Ford Model T, a car that clogged the streets of Chicago. Your mother Florence worked as a head telephone operator, and your father Frank was a railway express truck driver. They made their home on the west side of Chicago in Austin School District. Shirley, what makes you a Renaissance woman? You leave an impression each hour of the day. At 4 years of age, you stopped the adults in your life from taking down the Christmas decorations so that your mother could see them when she brought your baby sister home from the hospital in the middle of January. You made a commitment to excellence. As the oldest cousin, your mother and grandmother taught you the fine art of cleaning, beginning with washing the stairs. You actively listened. Aunt Josephine taught you love and patience as she took care of you through your younger childhood years. She thought the world of you. You went above and beyond. In your childhood and preteen years, you became the mainstay of the house while your parents held down jobs. Besides cleaning the house, you prepared and cooked the family meals, helped your sister get dressed, and walked to school together. You took responsibility. When 2 jobs were not enough for the family's survival, you went to work in your teen years. Those jobs included the factory line of a candy company sorting the good ones from the bad ones to package, welding parts together, and working for the telegraph company in downtown Chicago, roller skating from floor to floor, delivering messages to the different departments. You expanded your potential. From childhood through your adult life, you were an avid book reader and now have a library in your home of all the books you've read, and you keep adding to them. You rose to challenges. Your hands were never idle, and you learned from your mother and grandmother the arts of knitting, crocheting, embroidery, and sewing your own clothes. Music was another passion you developed in band as a percussion player and taking opera lessons as a high-note singing soprano. Last but not least, you enjoyed learning to not only roller skate but also to dance with a partner on roller skates. You fostered flexibility. When your mother volunteered for the USO, she would invite some of the men to the house for a hot meal, and you were a good hostess before they left for overseas. You even wrote to some of them, including your husband, who was stationed in Guam. You strengthened your bonds. The day your husband proposed in a park in Streator and you told him what the engagement ring looked like sight unseen, he knew he was the luckiest man in the world. A marriage that lasted 50 years without any outbursts of anger between you. All problems were solved together. You accomplished goals. On the day you were married, you designed your own dress. 2 bridesmaids' dresses were blue and 2 were more white. You sang to your husband, "Because" and "Oh, Promise Me." And you helped prepare the food for the 265 guests. Your honeymoon was quite an adventure. You got to experience many firsts. Family was very important to you. Renaissance woman, you nurtured new ideas. The first years of marriage, your husband worked in a movie theater, changing film reels, and you worked in a hospital as a nurse's aide in Dwight, Illinois. Not too long after that, with 2 more mouths to feed in the family, you decided to venture into the florist business together. It was a huge success, but grew too rapidly. Closing the flower shop, you moved to Chicago, and your husband became a crane operator and worked all year with no layoffs, while you were busied with the duties of a mother. As the children became teens, you went back into the florist business as a designer. When your husband had a brain concussion that led to 6 months of no work, you went to nursing school to support a daughter in college and a son in high school. You motivated and pushed. Both of you took on roles as Boy and Girl Scout leaders, which led to camping trips, etc. In your spare time, you and your husband decorated the church for the holidays and did the altar flowers every Sunday. You always said when you came out of your tent there had better be a hot cup of coffee ready for you. Years later, we learned it was your way of getting the fire going for breakfast and making us get up before you. You sang in the choir, and together you and your husband were sponsors for the Luther League of Teens. Activities included Christmas caroling shut-ins, working at a clothing center sorting clothes, going to see Lord of the Flies, attending conventions, and bowling, of course. You demonstrated conviction. Even though you went to nursing school, which is a college program, you felt you never went to college. So at age 73, you enrolled in the local community college, Glen Oaks, and 2 years later graduated with an Associate's of General Studies, cum laude, at age 75. You believed in the ability to succeed. When you accepted the role of your daughter's office manager for Heartwood Renaissance Academy, you also became the nurse and the counselor of over 300 students who entered your door for help, a listening ear, or a shoulder to cry on. You continually expand your potential. To this day, you still enjoy singing, painting, needlework, reading, talking and listening, debating, laughing, pulling weeds, planting flowers, watching birds, and taking trips to see something new and different now that you have your own private chauffeur. Shirley, you truly are a Renaissance woman of the 21st century. Congratulations on being 90 years young. Here's to many more happy memories.